If you've ever approached a scene and your lens wasn't quite wide enough to capture everything in the frame, panorama stitching is probably the thing that you want to do. Inside of Luminar Neo, you have access to the Panorama Stitching tool, and it's actually really amazing. The reason you're seeing 4 total images is because I have recently set my camera to shoot RAW plus JPEG. So we're only going to work with the RAW files here, but if I wanted to, I could also do this with just the JPEGs. So I'm going to go ahead and click on my first image, and then I'm going to hold down the Command key and click on the second image. This just selects the 2 images. Now, I've already tested this, so let me just go ahead and clear out my panorama stitching that's over here. And what I'm going to do is take the images and click and drag and then just drop them into this stitching dialog box. Now, there's a few options that you can check beforehand. You can get to those by clicking the little 3-dot menu here, and you get a few options, like I said. So you get de-vignetting, and I think that it's always good to click this, especially if you're working with a raw image and it's a wide angle lens. Sometimes there's a vignette that's cast over the photos, and you probably don't want that in your frame. So de-vignetting just helps the stitching work a little bit better. Then you have distortion correction. I also think that it's good to check this. Now, you don't have to, but most lenses, they have some form of distortion, so it's probably a good idea to check that. And then chromatic aberration reduction. This is one of those things you may need to use if there's something in your frame where there's a lot of heavy contrast, or if the lens that you're using doesn't do well with chromatic aberration. Now, when you check this on, it's going to find those images inside of the frame, or that area inside of the frame, and it's just going to correct that. So I'd recommend checking it on, but this one, I find that you don't absolutely have to have this on in order for a good result to happen. Now that that's all done, they're all checked off in there. We're going to come back over to our panorama stitching, and we're just going to click start. Now, what Luminar is doing is it's looking at those 2 images, figuring out what's similar in each frame and what's different, and then it's just stacking them together. And that brings us to this view right here, where we have the stitched together image. And you have a few options. Now, before we go into the options, I do want to point out a few of the items here. This checkered background is transparent. It's not going to show up in your photo unless you leave some aspects in the crop, which we'll talk about a little bit later. All that's really showing you is that you have some room to move this photo around, so that way you can get a different look on the image. Now, be careful with your horizon line. I'm currently using the spherical option to render this panorama. If I pull up, you can see how that's just making this horizon line bow. And if I pull down, it'll bow in the opposite direction. So you definitely want to be careful with that. And that goes with pretty much all of these options down here. Cylindrical is probably going to do something very similar. So you get to choose which of these works best for your image. But what I found with this particular photo is that plane works really well. And one, it gets rid of all these distractions that are up here at the top. Now, I'm not going to go through all of these because I think everyone's photo is worth exploring these options on your own image. And that's why I'm not going to go through them all. Just click on them, see which ones work the best for your photo that you're working on, because you may find one photo, the plane works great, and then another photo, spherical, works even better. Now, once you have the photo positioned where you would like it to be and you have the right rendering, then you're ready to hit continue. But before we do, if you're finding value, smash the like button. And if you want to pick up Luminar Neo and save a little bit of money, you consider using the coupon code down in the description box below. After we hit continue, we move into the crop window. Now, right now, what we're looking at is the transparency background, which means there's no pixels there. We also have the plane perspective that we were manipulating in the previous view. And then we have the crop into the image. Now, what's really cool here is that the crop finds the pixels in the image and it bounds the crop to those pixels. That way, you will always have pixels in your image. And if you don't have pixels in your image, then that means you end up with these little transparency areas. With all that being said, this bound or this crop is not constrained, meaning if I want to pull this all the way up to right here, I can do that. And if I want to pull it out into this transparent area, I can do that as well. I can't find any good reason to do this, but if that's something you're into, then you can absolutely do it. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pull this in just above that transparency space. And I think that looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and hit crop. And so now we get a final preview of what the image is going to look like once we save it to the hard drive. This is the time to pause, take a look, and make sure that you're getting the image that you expected to get. If you're not getting the image that you're expecting to get, you have a little back arrow over here. You can click this back arrow and you can come back and maybe reframe your crop. Maybe that was where the issue was coming. And so we can reframe the crop and get that look. Or you can go all the way back and change your perspective. Now, I'm good with the way that this is all rendered, so I'm going to hit save, but I have to foot stomp the fact that you should stop and pay attention, make sure that you're getting the look that you want here. So I'll hit save. Now I have created a panorama photo. Now remember, anytime that you create one of the images using a generative tool or a merge tool over here on the right side of the catalog in Luminar Neo, it's going to drop it into a folder on your local hard drive with the name of whatever the function you used is. Now, to move that out of there, all you have to do is click and drag the image, and I'm going to drop that into the parent folder where that belongs. And now it is off of my local hard drive and onto my external hard drive where I have all the images that were in this particular series. So if I scroll down, it's probably going to be near the bottom because it's going to fit in with the photos that I took. There it is. And so now what I'll do, just to make it easier, I'm going to click and drag it into this album. So we're looking at it side by side with the originals. And then of course you can go from here and stylize the image however you see fit. Hopefully you found some value in today's video. If you did, go ahead and smash that like button. And if you want to see more, consider hitting subscribe. If you're considering picking up Luminar Neo or anything over at the Skyloom store, consider using my coupon code FWP10 to save a little bit of money. And until next time, I want you to stay inspired and keep creating. Peace.